Howdy, howdy, this is Mr. Potter. So we're doing our experimental video. This is our first video in the classroom with our 360 camera. So we're just going to try out some things, see how everything works out. So one of the things I like to do with my students is I like to prove that -1 equals 1. So the first thing I do is I start off with some basic assumptions. We're starting with some Algebra 2 assumptions, the idea that I is equal to I. And that's true because of the reflexive property. So I know that I is defined to be the square root of -1. So I know that the square root of -1 equals the square root of -1. That's true as well. And I know that I can always take any fraction or any integer and write it as a fraction. So I can write this first fraction as -1 over 1. And there's certainly nothing wrong with putting the sign either in the numerator or in the denominator. So I've got -1 over 1 inside this radical. I've got 1 over -1 in this radical because 1 divided by -1 is 1. And anytime I'm taking the square root of a rational number, that should be equal to the square root of the numerator divided by the square root of the denominator. So I can do the exact same thing over here. But now we start running into some issues because this is I. But over here, this is really 1 over I. Well, I personally don't like fractions, so I'm going to multiply both sides by I using a multiplication property. Now, on this side, I'm going to end up with I times I, which is I squared. On this side, I've got an I in the denominator and an I in the numerator, so I end up with 1. Well, we know that I squared is defined to be -1. So we have that -1 equals 1. So, sample video number 1. I want to thank all of y'all who've helped with our GoFundMe program. This is day 7 of our program, and we have raised $570 out of the $700 we need. So I'm very appreciative, and I want to thank you all. That puts us at 80%. It always says that the first 80% of the effort is the first 80%, and the second 80% of the effort is the last 20%. But I know you'll pull through for me. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and have a great day.